Goosebumps is rated Y7 because it may be too spooky for kids under 7.
Since I can't really do this, I decide to actually just do this point blank, forgetting all that I heard and try to actually explain right now. So anyways, we're going to talk about Slappy the Living Dummy and my speculations of what exactly happened. Using a little bit from what I've heard too, just to piece things together. So, well, first things first is that Slappy, along with Mr. Wood/Wally, who are basically twin brothers, they were made from the same wood. Now, the idea could be the following. Either A sorcerer from Egyptian times decides to actually put himself inside the block of wood / the coffin itself. Maybe it's to protect, maybe it's to make sure that whoever is in the coffin does not escape. You know, the whole idea that in ancient times they go to the spirit world. Now, what if the freaking sorcerer, not knowing what he was doing, decides to actually put himself inside that coffin so that the priest or Egyptians or heck, even the freaking pharaoh could not escape to the spirit world, and instead he's just stuck in that thing forever because he's basically getting hounded and pushed back in there with his dead body, so he doesn't get to escape. Now the idea is this is very simple. It's the fact of it doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. He wasn't able to do it, so his spirit has been in there ever since, until decades, centuries later, the coffin is used for creating a living dummy or two, creating two dummies. Now, as for why got the description of that, who knows? I mean, as for the description, I think it because he is a sorcerer, maybe he put like some energy scroll or some whatever on him. So that means that every time, if it was even a freaking broom and you read the magic words, the broom will attack you or anything. I don't know. We have no idea if those words, if it actually was in a coffin as well. Maybe the words were used to do whatever, which we have no idea. But I think just by how evil the sorcerer is, he decides to actually put those inscriptions near him. So every time, I don't know. That's where it gets kind of like sketchy of how that's like, how does that work? Now, another thing could just be this, is what if a pharaoh got screwed over? Because notice the fact that Slappy is always like, slaves, you'll be my slaves. And usually when you think of that, either A, you can go way back to the pharaoh days, which that's how far it goes back, I think. But of course, maybe all this time I've been thinking way back when I should actually have think about all the way to America's history, America. The fact of maybe it was Civil War. Maybe we're in that type of era where they did have slaves. But of course, then how come Slappy isn't racist? That's a good question. But of course, on the other hand, you also have maybe in the 1950s or 40s or whatever, that when they did have child labor. And that's maybe where we're coming from. The fact of he loves child labor. And that's what he wants to do, is have child labor going on. But it's really hard to know. But all I'm saying is that what if someone pissed off a freaking sorcerer and, well, he got sealed into something? Or heck, what if the coffin that they used as his freaking body, as Slappy's body / Wally's body, what if that's the same coffin that the person who slaves, what if he died in that coffin and his essence just stayed in that coffin because the sorcerer is like, you screwed me over, I screw you over. The only messed up part is this, is how can you make a dummy out of coffin? Because I kind of think of the old school coffins where they're made of wood, yes, but it's thin wood, man. It's thin wood. It's like, how can you make a dummy out of that? But of course, it could just be a hunkin' big piece of wood, like a hunkin' big piece of coffin, and that's how they did it. But on the other hand, you do have to remember, I think it was Egyptian wood or some kind of crap. So that's also another part where it's like, oh, frick. Ugh. So I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure his origin. All I can go by is what we got book by book. I'm going to start with the 5 books that we have. So yeah, the first book, Slappy was there. He was bought. Yeah, he was bought because Wally was bought. Of course, given, you do have to admit though, if Wally and Slappy are the same and they look the same, how come they're not like, of course I didn't read the first book, but still, it's kind of like, how didn't they actually say, hey look, they both look similar to each other? Yeah, they sure do. They could be brothers or something. It's like, huh, weird. Oh my gosh, I just thought of something. We'll get to that in the 5th book. Yeah, so Slappy apparently was alive that whole entire time in that book, and I think he was afraid of Wally, which kind of shows what happened in the 5th book as well. I'm not really sure, but still, yeah, he doesn't want to do crap, and he decides to just say "F it," and he just watches and also eyed the girl. Then after that, we have the 2nd book, because, well, somehow they got rid of him. Now he went to another freaking place, which, yeah, they bought him from a store. So somehow, I already explained this in another video, but somehow they most likely already learned that reading the freaking words again turns him off. So they did that, they got rid of his ass. And then someone else bought him, which is kind of funny. It's like the point of, why the fuck did you not put another note in Slappy's pocket? And the other note is, do not read the incantations. Danger. Something like that. It's like, yeah. It's like, why didn't you warn them? Why didn't you warn the people that you gave to them? I don't freaking damn know. Let's continue on. Then the 3rd one, after he got screwed over by Dennis, who blocked him on the freaking head or tackled him or some kind of crap. The 3rd one, he shows that he was a bit broken, and, well, crazy enough, they decided to say, "F it, we're gonna give this broken dummy back to the freaking store or something," which I didn't think about that. What if the same store took him back? That's kind of funny thinking about it. It's like, okay, so they bought him, then they took him back. They bought him again. They broke him. They took him back. It's like, okay, that store should not actually take him back this time around, because on the other hand, what if they did get the complaint of, oh yeah, he did that too? Oh yeah, man, that sucks. Okay, we'll give you a full refund. Freaking, oh my gosh, the same damn store. The same damn store. Woo! Anyways, so the 3rd one, he repaired himself thanks to the freaking thing, and then after that it was Rocky who took him out. So yeah. Then the 4th one, I'm not sure. I forgot. I think he might have bought him, but on the other hand, we don't really know what happened. He could have bought him, but me personally, I would figure, let's go with the freaking thing that happened in the episode. That makes so much better sense. The fact of, he's poor person. Yeah, Jimmy O. James. Yeah, he's a poor person. He has no thing to freaking do. Then all of a sudden, lightning happens while he's walking down the freaking street, and there he is, all awake already. But of course, nah, I would prefer mixing the two together. Is that you went down, and it's like, what the freak? And then, oh my gosh, and it opens, it's like, So he decides to do it on the street. Eventually, he read the words, and then he found out that the words are what activates him and disactivates him. So he decides to read the words, activate them, and then there you go. And then you have him like all ready to go and stuff. And he's able to become a rich guy. But eventually, for some reason, he decides to give Slappy up. I'm not sure. I don't know how the span of him becoming rich helps. On the other hand, you do have to remember that in the book version, he lives in a freaking trailer park. In the episode version, he has his own freaking damn building. Yeah, I would love to mix it again and just say, yeah, he got freaking damn rich to the point of where it's like, well, I don't have to take Slappy anymore. So he decides to freaking get rid of him and gave it to the kids because it's like, it seems like he has a shine to you. I don't know what his plans are, but have him. See you later. So long, suckers. And he drove away. He just drives away forever for no one to actually do anything. Oh, man. Slappy got destroyed, though. Yeah, Slappy got freaking destroyed along with freaking Ugly Girl. Yeah, I'm going to call her Ugly Girl even though her name was Mary whatever. Yeah, and then the fifth one, which is where I have to stop, which technically I can jump to another one. Yeah, Revenge of the Living Dummy. But I'm just going to stop right here at Slappy's Nightmare. Now, Slappy's Nightmare, just like D83 talked about, is the fact of it might have chronological error because he's with Jimmy O. James again. Wait, did I skip one? Yeah, I skipped one because... No, I didn't. Because the kids got him. Yeah, the two girls got him, and now he wants to marry one of them and make her his slave. Love slave. He's a freaking damn man, Slappy Triple X. If you want the copy, I'll give it to you now. But apparently there's this another copy that I actually found of Slappy Triple X 2 that goes along with this book. Anyways. Woo! Anyways. So in the fifth book, it's very simple. He's with Jimmy O. James again, somehow. It might happen before Bride of the Living Dummy. It might have happened before then because it kind of makes sense. But anyways, yeah, Jimmy O. James, and he's still with him and he's still being abusive. And now all of a sudden, he now has a time limit of where he has to do 3 good deeds or he's dead forever. And not only that, but it's kind of like what happened with, I know I said this before, but Really You, but it's a little bit different. I'm trying to remember which is actually just like it. But I can't remember, put my finger on which one it was that was like it. Anyways, so we had tried to do the 3 good deeds. Sadly, he couldn't do them. And meanwhile, we actually have a brand new drummy who came in. And his name is Wally. Yeah. He dropped Mr. Wood. His name is Wally. I have to say that at this point, it's kind of funny where it's like Slappy actually straight up destroyed him. Yeah, he destroyed him. Which, if you think about it, if this is the same one from the very first book, if he's actually Mr. Wood is Wally. It makes perfect sense why he would beat the out of him now, because it's like previously he was intimidated by this guy. But after so many times actually being on his own now, Slappy's like, I could take you, you bastard. Bring it on, beep. And that's what he did. He beat the holy out of him. And, well, it didn't do anything, but still, at least he proved himself that, unlike what happened in the first book, where he's like, he's not going to be Froggy. He's not going to jump for it. He's not going to beat the holy out of freaking Mr. Wood. He's not going to do it. He's scared of him. So it makes pretty good sense that now he's going to wail the holy out of him, especially since the fact of he might lose his essence because of him. So in the end, we find out that's a freaking damn nightmare, but yeah, we still have Wally coming here. So Wally actually returned there, which it still makes sense why it's actually a prequel, because if it's a prequel, then that means that the reason why he was able to ditch Slappy and go with Wally is because, well, he got Wally. He got Wally in Bride of the Living Dummy. And that's why he was able to split. Because freaking Slappy, I can't take their no more. And he just dropped him and left him. Freak it. I'm out. Freak you, I'm out. So that's what happened. And it's kind of messed up to actually know that Wally actually might be evil too. But on the other hand, maybe that was Jimmy O. James. I'm gonna make another video for this. But still, how it ends is very simple. Is that Slappy is still on top. Did we learn anything new about Slappy? Well, he is able to actually do good. The only messed up part is that he's also able to block the fact of killing a kid actually is bad. Yeah, he was gonna kill Stella. He's like, Stella, you fricked over my crap. Now I'm gonna freaking damn screw you over. I'm gonna kill your ass. Which is like, oh, frick, Slappy, frick. Yeah, he crossed the threshold big time. He crossed the threshold big time. So yeah, you also can notice, which I did make a video on this, is the fact of how Slappy got very aggressive. And it really got sky high to the part of where it's like, holy frick, he got very aggressive. Just like how Mr. Wood was. As if he absorbed his essence. But anyways, I'm just going to end it right here. I don't know exactly what to actually tell you about his history. I wish the stuff that I was told, like for instance, he was basically a evil sorcerer that got trapped into a block of wood or some kind of crap. You also had the fact of they're made of the same wood. Mr. Wood and Slappy were both made of the same coffin, but the first 5 books don't say any of that crap, and the rest of them most likely won't even have that either, because, well, why? I heard that beforehand. I didn't hear it like all the way in 2008, 2010. No, I knew that as a kid, or at least a teenager. So with that said, whichever one that's like, oh, here's the evidence or stuff that you need to know, it's kind of bullcrap where I'm like, okay, so who made up this in the first place? Not unless it was a bio on freaking Goosebumps, but even so, I would prefer it to be in the book before it actually was something else where it's like, oh, frick, well, it was on the website, and if it's on the website, it must be true. Anyways, thank you for watching.